Tiffany Henyard is still at it. Now, we all know that she was kicked off the ballot where she couldn't run for supervisor of Thornton Township because Napoleon Harris came in and stepped in for the people and they knocked her out. They did some stuff behind the scenes to get her up out of there. And she's upset because she doesn't like to be, not to be undone. She's going to go down swinging. And she done filed a lawsuit, dropped the lawsuit, refiled the lawsuit, and she's suing the Democratic Committee of Thornton Township and Napoleon Harris for, crafty counsel. There's a lot of stuff. And we already know that she's been embedded in so many different scandals. And it's her from Dolton to Thornton Township. They saying that she was mixing money from Dolton and taking Thornton Township money and using it for Dolton. She has a federal probe on her. We've been reporting on this woman for a while. And, like I said, we've seen her knock down, drag out debates and arguments she's had at the Dolton trustee meetings and also at the Thornton Township trustee meetings, to the point where now trustees are walking out. They had a lockout. They wouldn't let her supporters in. It's the same thing that she was doing to people in Dolton, because remember, she was shutting down the Dolton City Hall and not letting people in. She was having people escorted out. We know that her police chief, Lacey, got indicted. She fired her first police chief. She came into Thornton Township and got rid of the lady, Miss Wiederman, and she's declared war on her ever since. So this whole thing has just been a crap show. And like I said, Trustee Gonzalez should be investigated as well. But this is what WGN News is reporting about her and her lawsuit with Thornton Township. Check this out.
South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard's battle to stay on the ballot takes a twist. She's now filed, dropped, and refiled a lawsuit, all in the span of a few days. Henyard is suing Thornton Township Democratic Committeeman Napoleon Harris. She accuses him of illegally preventing her and her supporters from taking part in a slating meeting for Township Supervisor earlier this month. It was at that meeting Harris prevented Henyard from speaking before nominating himself to replace her at the top of the ticket. Henyard's attorney says the just filed lawsuit makes the same claims as the old one, but no longer includes Dixmoor's mayor as a co-plaintiff.
So the hypocrisy when dealing with Tiffany Henyard is the very things that's happened to her is happening to her in Thornton Township, with two trustees not showing up for their reasons, where they can't have a vote for everything to turn back in Tiffany's favor. Tiffany has her allies now putting petitions in to stop certain mayoral candidates from running against her. And guess what she's doing? She's not showing up to the meetings. So there's a woman, Cassandra Hobson-Jordan, and she wants to run for office to get Tiffany Henyard out of office. But Tiffany Henyard has her allies filing all kinds of injunctions and petitions and all kinds of things to keep this woman off the ballot, right? But now there's been a vote, and now this woman is allowed to be on the ballot. But the very thing that she's complaining about in Thornton Township, she's actually doing in the city that she's the mayor in. This is the hypocrisy behind the whole thing. Listen, what they're doing to her and what they did to her in Thornton Township, she's doing the same thing to Cassandra Jordan in the city that Tiffany Henyard is the mayor in Dolton. It's crazy. But now this woman has finally been allowed on the ballot. She's going to be allowed to come out and run for mayor, and we'll see what happens. But this is what they're saying.
With new lawsuits and a mayoral candidate being challenged, the saga surrounding embattled South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard continues.
And WGN's Courtney Spinelli has the very latest from Dolton.
Ballot access has been at the center of fights in Thornton Township and in Dolton. Except in one case, Tiffany Henyard wants on a ballot, while in another, a Henyard ally was looking to keep her opponent off.
It's about democracy and it's about hypocrisy.
Yet another layer in the ongoing drama in the south suburbs, but a win for Henyard opponent Cassandra Hobson-Jordan.
Let the campaigning begin.
A court filing now dropped by a former village employee and a Henyard ally who objected to the grassroots candidate running for Dolton mayor.
The vote is unanimous. The objector's petition has been withdrawn.
Can't do that. Can't contest everyone that come. You can't.
Dolton Mayor and Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard a no-show at the meeting. Just last week, Henyard's attorney filed a suit claiming she was illegally blocked from taking part in the township's caucus slating meeting. It was dropped and quickly refiled, removing Dixmoor's mayor as her co-petitioner.
I do not like
dictatorship.
It's a criticism Henyard herself has faced. She claims her supporters weren't allowed inside the caucus to make their voices heard. Some attendees also echoed that.
This manipulation, nobody likes being manipulated. And when you get here, you know that's exactly what's happening.
Residents call all of this a distraction from the issues faced by Dolton.
It's sickening to me. I've been out here 33 years and never experienced anything like what's happening here.
WGN Investigates has reported on her use of taxpayer funds on luxury travel and her namesake charity, which hasn't reported how it spent money. Henyard is also under federal probe.
We need some action, somebody that's actually going to do their job. How about that? Somebody that's come in, work for the people, not themselves, and have pictures all over the place. We don't need that.
I don't really think they take this serious. I think it's a big game to them, and they don't understand that the more confusion and the more back and forth that we do, no one suffers but the people of the village.
Meantime, Hobson Jordan says she's preparing for the opportunity to run against the winner of the primary election, either Henyard or senior trustee Jason House. He writes, quote, "I'm glad the challenge period has concluded so that residents can be informed of their options in the upcoming election." We've reached out to the attorney who represents both Henyard and the man who filed the two now dropped objections. We're waiting to hear back with a statement. In Dolton, Courtney Spinelli, WGN News.
So now, without these trustees showing up to the meetings, right, Tiffany Henyard is vowing to get revenge by saying that there will be a government shutdown of Thornton Township because they don't have the proper insurance. So without any further shenanigans, look at this. This is what she's saying.
Henyard says a shutdown would mean ceasing assistance programs for seniors and after-school programs for children, and potentially laying off more than 100 township workers.
It's kind of hurtful to even mention the potential of layoffs. I don't want that. I want our people to work. It's the holiday season.
The threat of a shutdown comes as a Thornton Township meeting for the 5th time in recent weeks had to be canceled because of a lack of a quorum. The result of trustees Carmen Carlisle and Chris Gonzalez not showing up. Their aim is to block Supervisor Tiffany Henyard from appointing someone to a vacant trustee position who could provide tie-breaking votes.
The misspending of funds. You know, we've been working hard to keep tabs on things like that. So if she gets this a third vote, it's going to go right back to all that other stuff that was going on previously.
With the board unable to conduct business, Henyard says the township can't renew its insurance, and that's forcing the shutdown.
We already spoke to the lawyers, and then we will start making preparations today. So tomorrow will be the first day. Probably one of our buildings will get shut down. The seniors, they utilize the transportation to go to dialysis, to the doctor, to the store, things of that nature.
The township has also had to cancel its annual holiday toy giveaway this weekend that helps hundreds of families. But Gonzalez says Henyard, who's under FBI scrutiny for her handling of township finances, and those in Dolton, where she's mayor, could renew the insurance without convening a meeting. And it's the insurers who've chosen not to renew the township.
It all comes down to the dysfunction of this administration.
All this comes as Henyard is suing Thornton Township Democrats for their caucus vote earlier this month that left her off the April ballot for township supervisor. Henyard wants a new caucus vote.
So with that being said, she said that she's the town's going to shut down. The insurers is their decision to not want to renew. They're not going to have money for the kids, after school programs and the elderly. This whole thing is crazy. But did y'all see the smug smile on her face when she was talking? Did you guys see that? Like, man, listen, with all of the media scrutiny that she's been getting, national, international, local, she don't care. Listen, she ain't break. This woman is defiant as heck, man. She don't care. She don't care. Either everything she's saying is she's telling the truth, right? And she's standing on business, or she just got some mental health issues and she don't give a darn at all. She don't care what y'all think. She don't care what she do to the town, right? So I keep telling y'all that Trustee Gonzalez needs to be investigated. He definitely needs to be investigated, because now all of a sudden you don't want to show up to nothing when you was the one responsible for putting her in a position in the first place. It was you, Trustee Gonzalez. Like, man, listen, all these trustees was on board with her, man, at first, man, because they thought that they was going to be able to control her. And when she got in, she already peeped the game. She saw the weaknesses in them, and she started to exploit them right away, man. right away. And we all know her tactics over there in Dolton, as one of the residents has said, when she had billboards all up around the town, right? She was doing pay-to-play business. If you wasn't rocking with her, she wasn't renewing your business license. The first police chief got fired because he spoke up about her police detail and not enough police on the street to protect the citizens. She had all the cops with her. We knew about all this kind of stuff. We seen the videos. She spoke about what Zuccarelli was doing and the money that was being taken. So this stuff ain't new. This stuff ain't new. But like I said, man, as this thing gets real goofy, it gets real crazy. The same thing she's doing, same thing she's complaining about in Thornton Township, she's doing to mayor candidate Miss Jordan, Miss Jordan, the woman running for office in Dolton. She was doing the same thing, trying to use her allies to block this woman from running. So this thing gets real goofy and crazy. But I'm going to cut this video short here. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button. Subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.